Greetings. I'm Reverend Mansfield Kaseman, serving as the County Executive's Interfaith Community Liaison in the Office of Community Partnerships. I'm pleased to be presenting highlights of the past year and thanking our Executive Committee, colleagues, friends, partners, collaborators, private and public, for it's you that have made everything that you're about to see and hear possible. The best part of the last year for me, and I trust for all of us, has been reclaiming our human heart. As we've been reaching out very often beyond our comfort zones, what we've been discovering is that we are essentially sisters and brothers of one human family. In the midst of our diversity, we're discovering divinity that is uniting and calling us beyond the fear and prejudice of our time, to embrace one another, to deepen interfaith understanding, and to create a more beloved community. Enjoy now the highlights of the past year and be prepared to come together for even more promising ventures in the new year.
Over the past year, Reverend Kaseman assisted faith communities seeking to buy and/or renovate property through the zoning and permitting process, and helped others create partnerships as a way of conserving resources and empowering their mission. With his guidance, the Religious Land Use Working Group completed a survey revealing complications that were shared with elected and appointed officials, resulting in proposals to improve the process. In addition, quarterly meetings are being scheduled with public officials to monitor the progress, and a conference is being arranged with the Office of Civil Rights in the Department of Justice to review the unique constitutional rights of faith communities. The Neighbors in Need Working Group extended its goal of reducing hunger in Montgomery County by collaborating with the Montgomery County Food Council, the Department of Health and Human Services, and the Food Security Collaboration, now known as the Food Recovery Working Group. The current priority is advancing the Community Food Rescue Program that will feed more while wasting less. The campaign to make Montgomery County a hunger-free zone will receive the combined efforts of the Food Recovery Working Group. Other accomplishments included working with the executive team of Healthy Montgomery in setting goals and priorities for the next 3 years, and reaching out to thousands of and underinsured residents who were subsequently enlisted in the Affordable Care Act. The overarching mission of the Faith Community Working Group is to strengthen interfaith understanding and collaboration with the aim of creating social cohesion and public safety. Since January of 2015, the Faith Community Working Group has held 33 workshops, social events, meetings, and seminars in collaboration with faith members and county agencies, which attracted 3,035 participants. Examples include training in mental health, securing houses of worship, educating parents on the dangers of the Internet, preparing for natural and human-made emergencies, interfaith dialogue, sponsoring of 2 State Department fellows, and facilitating a town hall meeting with the county council, faith forums for sharing concerns and making recommendations with the county executive are now done routinely. The Montgomery County model for creating social cohesion and public safety, envisioned by Dr. Hadaya Mehamadi and developed in partnership with faith leaders and public officials, has worked directly with the police, fire, and rescue services, the Department of Health and Human Services, the Office of Emergency Management and Homeland Security, strengthening their relationships, clarifying their respective roles, and preparing them to work together in responding to all forms of emergencies. The Faith Leaders Response Team consists of faith leaders from Eastern and Western faith traditions who are on call 24/7, responding to acts of hate and violence. The team works closely with the police and meets regularly to cultivate their relationships. During this past year, 100 people from Anglican to Zoroastrian faiths met at the Islamic Society of the Washington area for dinner. Assistant Police Chief Daryl McSwain, who serves with the Faith Leaders Response Team, addressed the subject of community policing in relationship to the Baltimore riot. The Emotional Spiritual Care Volunteers consists of a team of faith leaders who have gone through extensive training to be certified for working directly with the departments of police, fire, and rescue services, the health and human services, the Office of Emergency Management, and Homeland Security and the Red Cross. Through regularly scheduled meetings, they continue their training and now wear vests and badges when working directly with all first responders on a range of emergencies, including natural disasters, extensive fires, bombings, and mass shootings. Because the approach is community-centric and interfaith, it is being promoted across the country. The Interfaith Council was asked to present this model at the Community-Oriented Policing Summit for the past 2 years. Diplomats, security officers, academics, and faith leaders from 37 countries have come to learn how public officials, including police, work hand in glove with faith leaders in maintaining a safe and secure community. Secretary of Homeland Security Jay Johnson met with Montgomery County government officials and faith leaders and complimented them for establishing a model that is being wholeheartedly recommended across the country. The mass shootings in Chapel Hill were responded to with a press conference. Next came a prayer vigil for those grieving in Charleston, and following that came another press conference and a candlelight vigil denouncing terrorism and honoring the dead in San Bernardino. In response to the increasing violence, Islamophobia, and dangerous rhetoric, a summit of Muslim leaders was initiated by the county executive. Elected and appointed public officials met with imams, council presidents, and other Muslim leaders at the Islamic Society of the Washington area. The purpose was for county officials to reaffirm their solidarity with the Muslim community, listen to their needs and interests, and learn how to be more supportive of their Muslim sisters and brothers. Another way of creating solidarity was through the annual Friendship Picnic. Last September, more than 1,500 people enjoyed food and music, face painting, carousel and train rides at the Wheaton Regional Park. This fun-loving day is held in partnership with the Office of Human Rights Committee on Hate and Violence. The Education Committee worked closely with the Superintendent and Board of Education with an innovative approach to explore a better understanding of and respect for different religious traditions. A town hall meeting was then held where more than 100 people, including parents, students, and staff and community members, witnessed the launch of the Guidelines for Respecting Religious Diversity, which has become a national model. Acting Superintendent of Schools Larry Bowers presented the guidelines and, with the president of the school board, Patricia O'Neill, announced a new policy establishing an interfaith calendar and designating religious holidays as excused absences. The Education Committee also began organizing parent academies to help parents of various faith communities understand their rights and learn how to navigate the public school system.
Our faith communities in Montgomery County are quite diverse. I participate regularly in a host of meetings and forums with our faith leaders in order to better understand the challenges our faith and broader community confronts. They are well organized and they are a dynamic force in responding to our neighbors in need. Beyond addressing hunger and health care and a host of other issues, they're also responding to acts of hate and violence. I stand in solidarity with our Muslim community, which deserves active support. Today is especially important to be strengthening interfaith understanding and collaboration. The combination of fear and prejudice are rising, and so I applaud all that has been done to unite us and move us toward a richly diverse community.
I think you'd agree that we are blessed to be in Montgomery County, where we can count on our elected officials working together with department heads and faith-based nonprofits and friends and faith communities throughout the county to create the more beloved community. Shalom, salam, namaste, am shanti, peace be with you all.
To become more informed, visit www.montgomerycountyin.interfaithmd.org.